like
When?
at like 8.
Okay, cool. All right. What's up, guys? Hope you all had a good week. Today we're going to start with an activity that I invented. And it's basically what you're going to have to do is pick an adjective, any adjective to describe your day. But there's a catch. So you're going to be making an acrostic poem out of your adjective. So basically, if your adjective is like happy, you want another word for H, A, P, P, and Y that also is about your day. So you're going to have multiple words making an acrostic poem out of your original. Does that make sense?
This is quite the activity.
Yeah. So pick a short word if you want.
When we pick a word and then make the like find more stuff, do those adjectives have to be about our day as well? Is that I forgot. Is that what we're doing?
They should be, but like you
Yeah,
can do whatever you want.
cool.
The main thing is that like the first one is about your day. I finished mine. I don't know if you guys are close or not, but
I'm
just,
still
let me
working
know.
on mine. Yeah.
What did you say?
No, I'm still working.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done.
I might need like one more minute.
You're good.
One more?
But I may or may not have spent the last couple of minutes searching up synonyms. So, but I can't find any ones.
The trick is look up adjectives that start with a certain letter and then pick one.
See, I started with Daffy, but then I was like, I don't really know what Daffy means. So I searched it up, and it means something that I didn't really want.
Okay.
So
Well, that's interesting. I've never even heard of that word before.
it's a cool word.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. There's like an 80% chance that Jaden and I are going on a road trip next week to California.
Don't tell me you're not driving to California.
Oh no, we are driving. And we're gonna make a few stops along the way, of course. Take a
Wow.
few pictures, maybe post it to the gram. No, just kidding. We're not. Yeah, and then we're gonna spend a few days there sightseeing, and then we're driving back. So
Is it just you two?
yeah, no, but it's like my mom, dad, Jaden, and me. Yeah, and then
Wow.
yeah, we might so that might be like 2 weeks. Just saying. So
Sounds fun. It'll be
basically,
long.
would try to help out if we have reception.
Lots of hours to be spent in the car.
Yeah, for sure. And then after I come back, literally a week and a half later, I'm going off to college, which is kind of sad.
Might as well stay there.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh,
I'm actually starting college in a month, like exactly a month.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, geez, I'm going back in a month. Insane.
Wait, when are you? Are you flying or driving?
No, I'm driving.
Drive. When are you? When are you leaving?
Probably August 8th. But
8th?
that weekend, yeah. That weekend for sure.
Yeah, that's literally a month away.
Yeah.
I'm booked for the 12th.
Mm.
So yeah. And then I probably the next time I'll be back is December. Even then, I don't know. It's like a lot of kids don't go back December, I think.
Yeah, I feel like it gets boring if you don't go back. Like,
It's
you
weird,
think
dude.
you
They
would
give
go
you
it?
like they give you a Friday and a Monday off for Christmas, and then another Friday and a Monday off.
That's it?
I'm pretty sure that's it.
What's the gap between semesters though? Do you have a gap between your two semesters?
Yeah, so the week after Thanksgiving is like the finals for the semester, and then after finals, I think the semester is done. So like December, and then you have the spring semester, which I don't know when that starts. I have the calendar pulled up.
All right, I'm done.
I bet.
cool.
The terrible.
Who wants to go first?
Jaden.
Jaden, I volunteer you.
All right. I don't know if I understood the assignment, but I'll just say what I put. Good ride, entering amazing times, and my word is great. So,
Wow, that's awesome. You understood the assignment perfectly.
okay, thank you.
I'm glad you had a great day. So the adjective I used to describe my day was rainy because it rained a lot today. As you guys probably know. So the first word I used was roller coaster because we had some ups and downs today, but it was overall like pretty fun. Animated because I don't know, it was just a good day. Interesting because I started watching a new show on Netflix. New.
Did you finish AOT?
So I started it, but they don't have the second season on Netflix, and I like don't feel like getting a virus.
Wait, it's on Netflix? You saw it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they took it off. Okay.
No, only the first season's on it, and I didn't feel like getting a virus, so I didn't like continue.
Right. No, stay after the Zoom. Well, actually, I have to go in 20 minutes, but I can probably text you how to do it. Yeah. Wait.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I started the Queen's Gambit, which was, and then also new because I did some like new cool stuff. And then my Y word was yummy because I ate a lot of food. That was good. So, yeah.
That's good. I guess I can go next.
Yeah.
My word is mediocre. And my words to describe mediocre is moderate, enigmatic, disdainful, inferior, ordinary, common, regular, and everyday.
I feel so bad for your day. Like you really just
Thank you, Mila. Thank
wow.
Jared,
You picked a
sending
word.
her some love.
you. Thank you, Sharon.
Yeah.
Thank you. And none from Jaden, of course.
Yeah, none from Jaden.
All right, Jeremy, go ahead.
All right, I was choosing like some weird word, but then I ended up going with the boring one, new. Um, and then I have nostalgia, effort, and water. So nostalgia because I was thinking about like all the freaking things I did this summer because we're about like over halfway done with the my summer volunteering thing, and I'm like a lot more than halfway done because I leave in a month. So that was like, ooh, crazy. But the next word is Ethernet. It's just like the retainer. I have a this tablet to watch my retainer, and so I remember like accidentally touching it with a wet finger, and it started bubbling on my finger today. So that was that. And then water because it's rainy.
So you're telling me it took you all that time just to
You
come
know,
up
it's kind of sad.
kidding.
Cool. I hope that wasn't too difficult. I thought it was a nice activity. So just to get started with our agenda stuff, anyone have any announcements from the last week that are super pressing, like want to talk about right now? We're good? Okay, cool. I want to do a quick check-in to see what different people have been up to this week, whether that involves, just actual action or just thinking, we had some assignments from last week. So we have representatives from admin here and also one from operational. So Josh, do you want to give us any details about if you've done anything over this past week and what that is?
Yeah, so basically, me, Aditya, Jaden, and Mira Bhatia were supposed to work on feedback for the first 2 days of the schedule. And yeah, basically, I think Mira was moving or something, and she has a lot going on, so she wasn't able to help out, unfortunately. But she did give us moral support, which is a good thing. Aditya said he was going to help us, but I didn't want to bother him too much because he's like in a different part of the world and the timing is a bit like weird. So Jaden and I just did it today, and we left some thoughts and feedback for the first 2 days. Yeah, and I
Awesome.
think everyone else did feedback too. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, actually, I guess from the admin's perspective, I also worked on that, which was pretty cool. I filled out my day. Um, anyone else have anything to add about stuff that they did this week from admin? Jeremy or Jaden? Oh, speaking of which, Jeremy, you want to make your important
Yeah.
announcement?
Yeah, I'll make it to the YouTube crowd of 0 people. Jaden has joined admin, so we'll have him for for this whole process, and then he still has to get caught up, so we can do that at some point as well. So that's the announcement, and then I will add for the revising. I did contact our 2 volunteers, and I got no response yet, but that's okay. Because I do now have a template to contact volunteers about this. So we're definitely going to do this in the future, and it'll be like a quick email now. So that's the good news.
Cool. Sounds good. Was wondering if you were able to find any more information about funding, Jeremy?
Yeah, so I have a document on Google Drive, and it has a list of now funding. There's apparently a lot of FFU like beginner funding that we can check out. There's also a link to startup funding. That one is just a little more in depth that we have to go through, and there's a bunch of different hoops of orgs doing it. But I do have a bunch of funding opportunities. Most of them, the deadline has passed, and so we have to wait like probably till fall, and then they'll reopen again for next year. But there are a bunch of grants, so I'm feeling a little more confident. They are massive though, so I'm sure we're probably gonna show some evidence. So doing this pilot is definitely gonna be good. And then there are also competitions, and that is something that we could look into. But once again, those generally speaking have massive prizes. And so I'm honestly, if we got $50,000, I don't really know like what we do with it. The one organization, I'll get to the professional stuff now if we want to, unless you want to talk about funding as well.
No, you're good.
All right. So with contacting professionals, it's a bit sad, but a lot of basically all the responses that I've gotten back, I did send out reminders this week, but the responses that I have gotten back are unfortunately not the ones that we want. Most of them just don't have the time, or they kind of refer us to other people, which is not good because I don't think they actually refer us to other people. The one organization called Center for Adolescent Health, that one was really interesting. And so I looked into it further and I got into contact with them. Like 3 people from there told us they're just going to go and talk to the rest of the people and share my email out. So I have not heard back from any of the referrals, but from the people that I have heard back, that is, they normally work with Baltimore school districts and like really, I guess, really stable orgs. So they don't really work with normal nonprofits. They work with government funded and sponsored nonprofits. They work with governmental initiatives, large school systems. So that's the key element. But I am still like, we're still talking back and forth about just trying to get connected to the right people, because I think a lot of them kind of just do it for the job. But, we'll see if they can put us with the right people. And then with the professionals, most of the professors that I have contacted are really turning us down here. But guess that's just the game.
Cool. I hope something will come out of the organizational ones. Even if it's just a referral. I'm glad they're like taking the time to talk to us. So if anyone else has anything to add about their week, now is the time to do so. And if not, I was thinking there's a couple options for what we can do. And I thought it might be beneficial to look over some of the, the schedule editing that we all did this week. And we don't really necessarily have to go into depth, but maybe just, main takeaways from what we saw within like the layout of timing, and if we thought anything needed to be changed, like actually really, importantly, or a detail that was pretty significant. So does that sound like a good plan?
Can I also give a details update? So he gave me a text saying like some of the stuff. So he's got into contact with 4 of our professionals on that one spreadsheet, and he's going to be meeting with them next week about just figuring out ideas for our curriculum. So that also happened. I want to put that into there. And I think we'll just continue and finish out the revising process. He hasn't given me the plan yet, but we're probably going to stick to the same plan of just couple names, partners, go in, revise for next week, and then see what we have.
Cool. All right, I'm going to share my screen with this schedule. So I'm not sure who did what, but does anyone have any like big thoughts about what they noticed while they were looking at this schedule, or what are some things that they think would be important to implement in the entire course, or anything like that stand out?
Wait, can you repeat your question again?
Like, after making your edits, is there anything that you noticed within the schedule that you think would be beneficial to do on other days, or something that an idea you had that you think is like really cool and you'd like to share it so that we can all sort of get inspiration from that?
Yeah, I can cover what I found out. So I really liked the template like at the beginning. But when I did revise, here's kind of the plan that I had in my mind of saying, if we're introducing a topic, it'll probably take 15 to 30 minutes to cover the whole topic on the like the educational ideas. So if they just start with that, I don't think there's going to be a lot of absorption of content. So I tried to frame it like pre-activity that dived into some of the content that we wanted to cover and then go into the content. So it was pre-activity, then learn, and then another activity. And then at that very end, I wanted, like, I always included some sort of recap. And then also, if the next day was talking something similar, like I had drug, how does drug affect your body? And in that one, like the morning, and then, sorry, genetics is the one. Um, wait, okay, is one of them, but I kind of did a review in the morning as well as a review at the end of the previous day. And I thought that sort of would really help. Like if you can cover it this day and then hit some sort of review morning of next day before you move on, that sort of structure just kind of glues it in. And obviously, like it has to be fun, not just a content thing.
I really like your everything you said, especially like the when you have introductions to structure them like really specifically so everyone is engaged and it's not just like you're being talked at, right, for 30 minutes. And I guess I can sort of add to that with what I noticed. And I was editing day 4, and it almost seems to me like some of this like designated student work time might just not be that engaging. Like I worry that students will get done with their work really quickly and then they'll just be like sitting there. You know what I mean? And I think either we just have to come up with a lot of work for them to do, or come up with like some sort of other activities that we can fill that time with, or just cut down on that somehow. So I'm not exactly sure if anyone else thought that or had a different explanation for the length of time that we were spending on that.
Yeah, I can probably talk about that because I had the day right when they wanted to present. And I actually did cut back on the presentation time. I think the plan was to present for like the entire morning. And I actually deleted most of the like after 2 hours of it. And then I tried to split it into only an hour and a half. So I do think like that's a lot of time to just rework in. One potential idea, we haven't really revised the end of the week yet, but we could just move everything up and then like add more content. And the other idea that I was thinking through is we could space out more things because I haven't really checked out the beginning, but when you do when you do the sandwich of like pre-activity content, activity review, another review, it'll probably expand a lot of the learning content and the learning, like the time that it takes. So we could use that and try and fit that in and just see how much time we end up squeezing out, because that could work. Because I really like the sort of sandwich that was in. And then another thing we could do is you can just scrap whatever time you think is probably going to be work time. And then we can insert in like what are the professionals think, and that could work as well.
Cool. Those are really good ideas. I noticed some of these final activities I had an idea for. I thought maybe it would be interesting to have this 2:30 time as some sort of like fun activity, or like you watch like an enjoyable like documentary or something that's related to your topic, something that like, especially after guided work time or anything that you're like actively learning in, it might be good to like relax and have some sort of other thing going on. Like for example, I like this guest speaker thing, and we could also do that like virtually. So well, yeah, we're gonna do it virtually, right? But for like my day, I thought maybe after a day of learning about research projects, we could watch like a documentary about somebody who went to do research in like a different country, but it's not framed in the same way that we framed it, you know, and explain that research is like multifaceted and there's not one way to do it, you know, like you can do research in many different ways and make it enjoyable. If, you know, being in a lab is like not exactly your thing. So I thought that doing something a little different during this time might be interesting.
I'm curious what the other two of you think about that because I do have an opinion that I'm gonna save.
Okay.
I don't really have an opinion.
Jaden, no pressure.
Same. No, I don't.
So I like that. I like doing that, like having some sort of movie thing. I'm not sure end of the day is the vibe because I always knew that, especially like at the summer camp that I'm in too, like right now, and the summer camps that I was previously in. I knew that the end of the day is sort of the dead period of people not wanting to do anything related to what they're learning about. And like, I don't know, it's kind of the period where you get to spend time with your friends and just, you know, you after that, unless you're friends outside of that, you don't really hang out with them. So that's the time to hang out with them, is in that dead space of everybody not wanting to do anything productive and you just relaxing. So I like that idea. I'm not sure if it's good for right there because I was thinking you could do, I have a couple icebreakers on my days, 5 and 6 at the very end. So I said, like, please end at each day early and have that dead period be some sort of like game that kills some time, like an icebreaker. So I've got a couple just like every single day. You don't have to do those games, but in case you can't think during that time, you can just have that game. And it's just something that engages in conversation and has nothing to do with the lesson plan, because that's probably time where people don't want to think and they just want to just chill and talk.
That's some good insight. Yeah, I never actually thought about that. That's a good insight into
It's
like,
just an opinion though. So that's why I wanted to listen to our two others who can't really think right now. Yeah, I'm also very curious, Jaden, because this is your first time even like setting eyes on this thing. What are your thoughts? Like, that's probably a difficult question to answer, but was there anything in there that was like a glaring red flag slash like a really good thing?
By the way, I just want to
Oh,
let you guys know I have to head out. So see you guys.
So yeah,
well, there weren't any red flags that I noticed personally, but I really like the guest speaker thing. Bringing in the guest speakers. I think that's a sorry. Yeah, I really like the guest speaker thing because that's a great idea and people may tend to listen from like an expert, so to speak. I also liked how we're using like videos, and I think there are like a few simulations in there too. So I think that'll make it really interactive. So yeah.
so yeah, that's definitely something that we wanted to like try and target, because a lot of these things are just not in, like when we're learning about these topics, they're just not interactive.
any final thoughts on this sort of schedule thing from last week?
One thing. So we'll probably close out this week by finishing out days 7 through 10 and just finish them all out. What do you guys think the next plan should be? Like, after we do all of that, would it be worth it to go back again, or do we wait and check out, you know, where people needed help? Like, what should be the next step?
I think that going back again with a different set of eyes would be good. So have different people edit different days. So like, let's say I did day 4, maybe this time I can do day 5 and 6 and look at what like the person before me did, and then make changes, make suggestions, or maybe even like talk to them about their ideas and be like, hey, why did you put this? Or I don't think that would be a good thing, or, you know, work together to refine it. And then after that, maybe we could do it as a group. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
All right, sweet. To play devil's advocate and get your brains thinking, we have professionals to bring in more activities. So what will happen is after this revising process, we'll have like some boxes that people have said, this is not a good idea, but I don't really know what to replace it with. So we'll have a bunch of activities that professionals made. So we could think through that as well. So it might be worth it to like help Aditya out in doing these professional talks and just brainstorming with these professionals and then doing it. That could be an idea.
I think that would be interesting, but I also think that it wouldn't hurt for us to just look over some other days by ourselves. Maybe we don't have to meet as a whole team or do as much work because we don't want to like burn ourselves out or just overexhausted to the point where no one wants to look at it anymore. But just look at a few other days by ourselves, I'd say, and then implement the professional like expertises.
Yeah, that works too. That works too. And we should be done. The goal is to be done with editing 1 or 2 weeks before August so that we can teach it to ourselves. And that's really our final catch of just kind of, you know, is it interesting?
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Like on that note, do we want to make our to-do list for next week?
Yeah. So this is what we had last week. Talk to more professionals, check in individually about the curric is something that Aditi wanted to do, and setting up, revising the thing. And we pretty much did this. I'm not sure if he checked in individually about the curric, but this was also vacation week. For admin, which we all are on, it was hopefully meeting with professors. That was an attempt. We honestly got like 12 responses back that all said like not positive things that we wanted to look for. They were all like pretty much referrals slash this is probably not the I'm not the best for that. So it was always that. Find more chords. That's something that should probably also start doing. And then the grant apps. This is the exciting thing because I think for next week we could like legitimately start doing it, which yeah, we have. And this, I will send out the picture that I have today.
Cool.
For next week, we're all on the same team here, so we'll just edit this one and think about these ones. What are we thinking? What do we want to add?
Okay, applying for funds and then Hopkins professors.
Yeah.
Okay. This is separate from our schedule editing, right?
Yeah, this is separate. So here we can probably start with this. So to catch you up a little bit, Jaden, what I've been doing is sending a bunch of emails to Hopkins professors and just Hopkins people, and then seeing if we can, you know, try and get some advice from them. And then also Mila has been working on funding and looking into like which opportunities we can apply like right now. So those are the two things that we've been working on.
Okay.
the other critical thing that I can think of is contacting schools right now. So to take some load off of the DTS plate, because we got to set up um, the piloting in August. So is that something you would want to do this week?
Sure, yeah. So contact other schools.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
So here's the helpful part. Jonathan and Zach have already created a spreadsheet with a bunch of schools and also a template email. So you can pretty much use that. Please edit it again. Let us know if you want any help with that. But
Mhm.
I think that's good to go. We can just ask, hey, we have this pilot thing running in August. Could you give this info to your students? Something along those lines is perfect.
All right, yeah, you can definitely do that.
Sweet. So I'm gonna add that to the list of email some schools. Yeah. I visited a pretty crappy neighborhood today for my summer camp to I don't know, help their kids out and just pass some time with them and play some games. And so that neighborhood, I thought about it and it's crazy. It's in Moon, but Moon Crest is kind of buried in Moon. Yeah, it's kind of sad because like the entire architecture of the place is just completely outdated. And I was wondering why that is, and also how can this go under the radar too. So I was thinking through that and I was like, wow, all of these communities, these are great kids, but nobody really knows. So, and it's hard for us to find this out too, because I had no idea we had even in a township like Moon where they have the money that you could have a really poor sub county or something like that, like a tiny little neighborhood that the houses just look completely not in style. But we can probably look and seek those community centers, look at just lower income communities and seek out if they have any community centers and go and talk to the people there. Because that was something that I was considering doing. I didn't get a chance to just go and talk to them about it, but that is a place that I definitely want to go and email about or /call.
This is actually related to a project I did a while ago. Back in 10th grade, our I think she was our senior school registrar or something, Miss Mankowski, you all probably know her, but she would make fleece blankets every year to donate to the Mooncrest neighborhood programs. They have these after school programs for kindergartners through I think 6th. I'm not quite sure where they end, but I know that there are a lot of kindergartners there. And when the wintertime came, she would make blankets to distribute to the families. And so we organized an event where we taught a lot of global studies kids how to make blankets. And it was actually it's kind of unrelated, but it's my connection to Mooncrest because I was wait, wow, this is on topic. And all the kids sent us talked to Mrs. Mankowski and sent their requests for what sort of designs they wanted. Some kids wanted kittens, some kids wanted footballs on their blankets, and we made them all. And then afterwards, after they were donated, I think there were 20 or so blankets. They sent us these thank you cards. You know how kids draw thank you cards with crayons and like that cardboard paper thing. It was so sweet. And so yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. Those kids are amazing. All of them. It's insane.
I would have loved to have met them because I never actually got the chance to go there. It was her project, right? And we just helped out. But yeah.
Yeah, they're the nicest human beings. We were kind of talking about it. And it's when they go out and do an activity, all of them are yeah, I want to go. And then when we're back at Moon Parks and with the 50 kids, you always have a bunch that are no, I don't like this activity. But at Mooncrest, they're so thankful just to go out and play a bunch of activities that they're all engaged. It's insane. Yeah. But they're under the radar. I've never, could you imagine just all the houses right now in my neighborhood just look all the same, and then you just have one neighborhood that's just completely different? That would never pass. But that's what they have, which is absolutely, like, I had no idea. But yeah, I put that down right up here. Yeah. Do we have anything for 2 weeks from now?
This is a independent question, I guess, like
Yeah.
just for me to know, I guess. I think it's kind of obvious by now, but do you have like all the presentations and stuff like to actually present to the classes ready now, or do they need to be made?
Yeah, we don't have the presentations at all. We don't have the teaching materials yet. We do
Okay.
have, yeah, the schedule is pretty much as far as we went with that.
Okay.
That is definitely something that we still got to work on as well.
Okay.
I do have one question. So Mila, with funding, it's like pretty quick to do. Do you want to add something else to your plate?
I can. I just don't know what.
Yeah.
That's the issue. I've been thinking, but
Okay, this is probably a good part to stop at, I think. Oh, I forgot 2 more announcements. So Jonathan and Zach, I talked with them a bit, and Zach will give us, it'll be like another month, which is insane, before he comes back from his road trip, but he's gonna finish up all the directing of an intro video for Care for Them. It's gonna be like a commercial. I'm super excited. It's gonna be kind of cool. But he's like gonna call hospitals right now, but he is gonna plan out the whole like film. And then once he gets back, we can start recording this stuff and it'll be insane. Like honestly, it'll be insane. Then Jonathan, he asked if he could actually do the intro video, like a legit what is Care for Them, why is it important, blah blah blah, that video, and he wants to do that. So now we have Zach he's going to give us in a month from now a whole plan of like what needs to happen in order to make a commercial and like get people interested about Care for Them. And then Jonathan's gonna give the next video, which is gonna be just about like what is Care for Them, why is it important, all of these good questions, and just like who we are. So yeah, that's happening. Okay, are we good to like end this? Do we have any other things?
I'm good.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm good too.